A good day to all. This is the Act 2, Scene 2 of The Merchant of Venice. So, in this scene, it is divided into 3 sections. The first section is about Lancelot Gobbo, and Lancelot is the servant of Shylock. So in the beginning, he is found debating with himself whether he should leave Shylock and work for Bassanio or stay with Shylock himself. Shylock is a cruel master and he doesn't treat Lancelot in a good way. So Lancelot has this thought of leaving Shylock and start working with Bassanio. There is also this reason that Shylock is a Jew and Bassanio is a Christian, so we can see religious prejudice here. Ultimately, he decides to leave the Jew's service, exhibiting his racial prejudice and his false expectations of Bassanio's wealth. So he decides to leave Shylock and start serving for Bassanio. He teases his poor father, taking advantage of his blindness, and urges him to plead to Bassanio to employ him. So then his father Gobbo comes to the scene, and since Gobbo is blind, not completely blind but partially blind, Lancelot pulls a trick on him, saying that he is someone else, not Lancelot, and Lancelot died. So the speciality of this scene is that the whole scene is comic in nature. There are so many comedy elements in this scene, and this scene does not contribute anything directly to the main story. So this scene is about creating a comedy effect so that it can bring laughter to the audience, because all the other scenes were so serious, right? So the intention of this scene is to bring comic relief to people, because it wouldn't be good to have all the scenes in a very serious manner. So they are having a scene which is comic in nature. In the second section, Lancelot meets Bassanio and enters his service. So in the second scene, Lancelot meets Bassanio, and after telling Bassanio that he wants a job under him, Bassanio hires Lancelot. And the last section, Gratiano requests Bassanio to let him accompany to Belmont. So Gratiano wants to go with Bassanio to Belmont. So these are the main incidences in this scene. So scene 2, Venice, a street. So the place is Venice, the location is a street. Enter Lancelot. Certainly, my conscience will serve me to run from this Jew, my master. So Lancelot is saying, my conscience is telling me to run away from Shylock. Jew, my master means Shylock. So what is conscience? A person's moral sense of right and wrong. Every person has this concept of what is right and what is wrong, right? Some things are right, some things are wrong. That is what conscience is. The fiend is at mine elbow and tempts me, saying to me, Gobbo, Lancelot Gobbo, good Lancelot, or good Gobbo, or good Lancelot Gobbo, use your leg, take the start, run away. So the fiend, the devil is at mine elbow. So the devil is very close to me and tempting me. What is the devil saying? Lancelot, run as far as possible. You should not stay here. You should go away from Shylock. So UCL again, take the start. Take the start means have a good start at running. Do not stop running at all. That is the meaning. My conscience says, no. Take heed, honest Launcelot. Take heed, honest Gobbo. So, but my conscience is telling me I should not run. Take heed. Heed means take care. Take care of what? His honor, his honesty. So their family is known for honesty. So if Lancelot leaves Shylock, it would damage their family reputation of being honest servants. So the Lancelot does not wish to sabotage the image of his family, destroy the image of his family. So he is confused about what to do. But at the same time, he doesn't want to serve Shylock anymore. He is very cruel in nature. So he is having this dilemma. And dilemma means he has two choices and he doesn't know which one to choose. So the fiend is telling Lancelot, or as aforesaid, honest Lancelot Gobbo. Sorry, not the fiend, the conscience. Honest Lancelot Gobbo, do not run. Scorn running with thy heels. So the conscience is saying, scorn, hate running with your legs means do not even consider the idea of running away from Shylock. Well, the most courageous fiend bids me back, but then a most courageous devil comes to me and bids me. Bids means tells me what? Pack. To pack my things and leave this place. Vaya, says the fiend. Away, says the fiend. For the heavens, rouse up a brave mind, says the fiend, and run. So the devil is telling me, vaya. Vaya means go. Usually the meaning of the word via is, it's like a pathway. Like for example, I say I came to Sangli via train, using train, or I came to Sangli via road, means through road. So it kind of shows a path, a road. But here the meaning of the word via is to go, to leave. Okay. So the devil is telling Lancelot, for heaven's sake, for the love of God, have some courage. Wake up the courage inside you and run away from Shylock. Well, my conscience, hanging about the neck of my heart, says very wisely to me, my honest friend Lancelot, being an honest man's son, or rather an honest woman's son, well, my conscience says, Lancelot, budge not. So, my conscience, it is also very strong. It is hanging tightly on my neck. It is holding me tightly on my neck. And my conscience is telling me, you are very honest. You should not run. You should not budge. Budge means move. You should not move from where you are. Budge, says the fiend. Budge not, says my conscience. So the devil is telling, move, go. But the conscience is saying, do not move, stay where you are. Conscience, say I, you counsel well. Fiend, say I, you counsel well. So he is telling to both his conscience and the devil tempting him, both of you advise me well, counsel me well. Because he understands the good aspect and bad aspect of running away from Shylock. Well, to be ruled by my conscience, I should stay with the Jew, my master, who, God bless the mark, is a kind of devil. So Lancelot is saying, if I listen to my conscience, and stay with Shylock, my master, it would be just like living with the devil, because he is very devilish in nature. And there's a phrase, God bless the mark. It means God forgive me. It means like, if I may say so, he's asking the permission to say the name of devil out loud. During those times, it was not considered good to say the name of devil loudly. So he's saying, I apologize, but I think Shylock himself is a devil. And to run away from the Jew, I should be ruled by the fiend, who, saving your reverence, is the devil himself. So if I run away from the Jew after listening to the temptation, then also I am listening to the devil. So again there is this phrase, saving your reverence. I apologize with all due respect for using the term devil. So Lancelot is saying, no matter what he does, he is serving the devil. If he stays with Shylock, he is serving the devil. If he runs away from Shylock, then also he is listening to the devil, because he is being dishonest. Certainly, the Jew is the very devil incarnation. So Lancelot is saying, the Jew is the avatar of devil himself. And in my conscience is but a kind of strict conscience to offer counsel me to stay with the Jew. The fiend gives me the more friendly counsel. He's telling, my conscience is giving me very strict advice, very hard advice. It is asking me to stay with Shylock just for protecting the honor and honesty of my family. But it is not thinking about me, my conscience. But the devil, on the other hand, is thinking about my well-being. So I am going to listen to the fiend, the devil. I will run, fiend. My heels are at your commandment. I will run. So he decides to run away from Shylock. Enter old Gobbo with a basket. So Gobbo enters, the father of Lancelot, and he is blind, partially blind, and he has a basket with him. Gobbo, master and man, you, I pray you, which is the way to Master Zeus? So Gobbo is asking, can you tell me the way to Shylock's home? So Master Jew means Shylock. It shows that Shylock was very famous in Venice, and all that the people had to say was Master Jew, to refer to Shylock. So Gobbo is asking, where does Shylock live? Lancelot, aside. So this dialogue is aside. I have already taught you what aside means. Aside means it's a dramatic technique where only the audience can hear what the characters say. None of the other characters on the stage can hear what he is saying. Lancelot, oh heavens, this is my true begotten father. So he is saying, oh my God, this is my father. So begotten means give life to a child. So in order to have a child, both father and mother are needed. So giving life to a child is called begetting. So it is usually the fathers who tell, I've begotten you, to sons. But here the son is saying, this is my true begotten father. It's like he gave birth to his father. So the usage of that word begotten there is for a comic effect. It also implies that his father is responsible, he is the responsible one. Who, being more than sand blind means half blind, high grave blind, more than half blind, knows me not. So he does not recognize me since he is more than half blind. I will try confusions with him. So Lancelot decides to pull a trick on him, play a trick on him, prank him. Gobbo, Young master gentleman, I pray you, which is the way to Master Zeus? So Bobo is asking again the direction to Shylock's home. Lancelot, take up on your right hand at the next turning, but at the next turning of all on your left. Marry at the very next turning. Turn off no hand, but turn down indirectly to the Jew's house. So Lancelot is purposely confusing his father by saying, go left, go right, then go straight, then go left again. It's not the correct direction. He just wants to confuse his dad for his own humor. Gobo, by God's Sundays means saints. Oh, all the saints of God. It will be a hard way to hit. It means find. It is hard for me to find this way because it's too complicated. Can you tell me whether one Lancelot that dwell with him or not? So Gobo is asking Lancelot, can you tell whether a Lancelot lives with Shylock or not? Dwell means live. Whether Lancelot lives with Shylock or not? Lancelot, talk you of young Master Lancelot? Aside. So Lancelot is asking, oh, are you talking about young Master Lancelot? So actually Lancelot is not a master or anything, he is a servant. But he is telling like that in order to confuse his father further. And aside, mark me now. Now I will raise the waters. So Lancelot is saying, just look carefully, I am about to make my father cry. Raise the waters means well up his eyes with tears. And again, talk you of young Master Lancelot? So Lancelot is asking, are you talking about the young Master Lancelot? Gobo, no master, sir, but a poor man's son. So Gobo is saying, he's not a master or anything, he's just the son of a poor man. His father, though I said, is an honest, exceeding poor man, and God be thanked, well to live. So he is saying, okay, even though his father is poor, he is very honest, and thanks to the blessing of God, he is healthy. Lancelot, well, let his father be what he will. We talk of young Master Lancelot. So Lancelot is saying, let his father be whatever he is. A means he. Let him be honest, let him be healthy. I don't care. I do not want to talk of his father. I want to talk about young Master Lancelot. So Gobo is saying, your worship's friend and Lancelot, sir. So he is saying, your worship's friend, I would like to know about you. So he is saying he wants to know about the speaker to whom he is speaking. He does not realize it's Lancelot himself. So and Gobo is saying he also wants to know about Lancelot. Okay, let's wind up here for today. Thank you all.